Welcome to Redesigning Equestria Girls Part 2. Check out Part 1 if you haven't already. Just a little reminder, I'm not a writer or a professional character designer, so don't take this too seriously. It's all for fun, and with that being said, let's get into it. Kicking off Part 2 with my personal favorite of all my redesigns, Fluttershy. In the movie, she brings her animals to school with her, so of course I drew her with some cute little animals. As far as her original design goes, I don't think that it's bad actually. I think it's really cute. It just doesn't really fit like my personal idea of what Fluttershy would look like if she were a regular high schooler. I did keep some of the design elements from it, like I still gave her the pink polka dots. I put that on her skirt, and I did keep her little butterfly cutie mark. I put that on her bag. I gave her some boots because I think she'd want to wear shoes that are a little more practical for spending a lot of time outside, as well as a kitten butterfly shirt. I saw that on Pinterest, and I definitely think that Fluttershy would be someone to go thrift shopping, and she would definitely see something like that in a thrift store and absolutely have to have it. I chose to give her glasses. There's no real reason behind that. I just thought that it would fit her vibe. I do think her old design was still cute, or my old design for her was still cute, but I definitely think this one was a major improvement. The old one, it's cute, but I feel like it doesn't have as much personality as this one does. For her superhero form, I kept the long skirt, and I also gave her these little magic butterflies. This is a good opportunity to talk a little bit about the magic system and what their powers are. Forewarning though, I'm gonna keep it pretty surface level, and I'm not gonna go too deep into how it would actually work. I just don't think I'm qualified to do that. So for Fluttershy, I decided she would be the group's healer, that she would be able to conjure these little butterflies that can fly to her friends and heal them. I know that she doesn't have a horn, so she shouldn't really have that kind of magic, but I chose to give them powers that are separate from the usual magic that unicorns and alicorns have, mostly because if I kept it that way, literally only Twilight and Rarity would have actual powers, so they all have individual powers that are separate from the way that the horns work in Equestria. Rainbow Dash's power would of course be super speed. Side note, I did get a comment saying someone didn't really understand why I would give Dash long hair in her hero form, like it would be unpractical for her, and honestly I just did that because I thought it would be like cool and fun if when she uses her super speed, her long hair like trailed behind her head like rainbow speed lines, if you know what I mean. So that was completely self-indulgent. I totally understand why you would think that doesn't make sense. Rarity's power would be to encase people in diamond, to stop them in their tracks and create diamond barriers, like diamond walls between them and like an enemy, or maybe to like protect a group of people. I do think that their powers would be mostly non-violent and used to subdue threats while causing as little actual harm as possible, so not very threatening. Twilight's power would be spellcasting, and I know this is something that unicorns can learn in Equestria, but because this is the human world, she would only be able to use her power when she's in her hero form. So she would still have to learn the spells, so it wouldn't be so overpowered. I'm not sure how that would actually work. Maybe she would have like a spell book that she can summon or something like that. Like I said, keeping it surface level. I don't feel confident enough to go too deep into that. Pinkie Pie's power would be teleportation. I imagine with how energetic she is and how she's always bouncing all over the place that teleportation just seems fitting for her. She always seems to be just kind of popping up behind people anyway, so I just feel like that would be the perfect power for her. For her design, I actually kept a few things from my old design for her. The chunky beads, bows, and the puff sleeves, which I included on the hero outfit. Her outfit has a lot of layering, and I feel like it's fun, but still not too over the top for a day at school. I really wasn't sure what direction I was going to take this in, because like, I do like the idea of her being into like decora, or just like that really over the top fashion where you wear a ridiculous amount of accessories, but I don't know, I just felt like it was maybe too much for me personally. Like I ended up going a lot more simple than that, but I still think that I made her look fun and cute. I do think that her canon Equestria Girls design is kind of weird, like from the first movie. I don't know if it's different in the other ones, but I don't know, it just feels like a really weird outfit choice. and I guess it's probably just because they were all kind of uniform, but I don't know, it just did not feel like an outfit that Pinkie would wear. I just want to make a few corrections from my last video too. Someone mentioned that they're actually sophomores and not seniors. If that's true, sorry. I had assumed that they were seniors because of the pictures of Sunset winning 3 times. So oopsie. I guess they weren't actually separated for that long if that's the case. But I thought that it was implying that freshman, sophomore, junior year that she was winning and that they were really separated for that long. So that makes more sense. I also mentioned that Canterlot High was the equivalent of this world's equivalent to Canterlot and Equestria, and how that's like such a crazy size difference. And I do know that Canterlot is like a city or a town or something, because obviously the school, like it's the school for that town. But I kind of meant in the sense that like Celestia's the queen, but in the school she's the principal. She's not the mayor of the city, she's the principal of the school. Do you get what I'm saying? Hopefully you get what I'm saying. On to Applejack. So Applejack's power would be super strength. She's a strong and hardworking girl, so I think that it's fitting. I honestly think that this is the weakest of all the redesigns that I did. Looking back at my old design for her, the boots and the belt buckle look better, and I think that the button up top was cuter, honestly. I kind of regret going with the hoodie. The idea was that it's a Sweet Apple Acres hoodie, like maybe they would have their own like merchandise. So this one ended up being really simple and honestly kind of boring compared to the other ones. Overall, I can't say I was happy with this one. She's still cute, but I just don't think it was as good as the others. So for all the Applejack fans, I'm sorry if I let you down. Last one, and definitely the one I have the most to say about, Sunset Shimmer. I don't have an old design for her, but I definitely want to talk about her transformation in the movie, because what is this? Why is she some kind of demon? I really don't understand why this would be the case. If anyone knows, definitely let me know in the comments, because I feel like that was a really weird choice. And I know she has some sort of redemption in the other movies, or maybe the show. Like, I just know she ends up having some kind of redemption. And I know, I probably should have watched all the movies, but I didn't. In the first movie, though, she is, like, so mean. Some of the things that she said actually had me shocked.
You country folk really aren't that bright.
And she calls Fluttershy pathetic, and it's like, is it really that serious? Like, do you have to be this mean to these high school equivalents, the people that exist in a world that you literally don't even belong to? So for her redesign, I definitely went pretty far off from her canon design. I kept the jacket, but I made it a different style of jacket and a different color, so hardly even kept the jacket. I gave her pants instead of a skirt, and I did really struggle with her colors and where to put them. I did end up liking how it turned out, but I do feel like some of the other color options I went through could have also been good, maybe better. I don't know, I was really not committal with that. I could not figure out what I thought looked best, but the one that I chose in the end, like I said, I still think it looks good. I gave her short hair and bangs. It just felt right to me. Kind of like Fluttershy with glasses, there's no real explanation for it. I just like it. Felt aesthetically pleasing to me. And for her villain transformation, I kept some of the demon-looking aspects, like the wings, but I gave her a horn and ears, and I just tried to make them look, like, corrupted. I wanted the whole thing to seem like a corrupted version of Twilight's transformation, so she of course has Twilight's gem, and instead of gold accents, they're all black, and I made the top of it go, like, up onto her face, like it's taking hold of her. And her power is obviously mind control, because
with my own little teenage army behind me.
Yeah, because of that. In the end, together they end up defeating her by coming together as friends, and it would be the same way in my reimagining. They would have this power where when they all come together and join hands, there's like a magical blast that can purify evil entities, so it would cleanse her. Pretty sure that's how it is in the show too, and I don't think that it's described that way, but I think you guys know what I mean. Here they all are. I'd love to hear who your faves are. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you want to see any future videos from me, and thanks so much for watching. Bye!